This will sound very strange, but U2's concert that opened the new Sphere Theater in Las Vegas, which is known for its light show, and U2's new song that was released at the same time as the opening concert, named Atomic City, inspired by Las Vegas, the home of the National Atomic Testing Museum, and the U-2 spy plane shoot-down incident during the Cold War are prophetic signs from the Christian God of the Bible that are predicting that a suitcase nuke or dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan, New York City on February 3rd, 2024. And these are prophetic signs that are predicting that Israel will bomb Iran's nuclear power plant and nuclear weapons facilities on February 26th, 2024. And this prophecy from God is also predicting an explosion on the surface of the sun, which is a giant light-emanating sphere that will send a catastrophic coronal mass ejection that will knock out the nation's power grid on February 22nd, 2024. The date that this video is posted proves that these predictions are being made ahead of time, as do these time-stamped emails and forensic notes PDF documents. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. The band U2 opened the new Sphere Theater in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is Sin City, but as God has been demonstrating, it is symbolism for nuclear weapons. The reason why Las Vegas is symbolism for nuclear weapons is that the first atomic weapons were tested just 60 miles or so north of Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, there is the National Atomic Testing Museum and another big or famous nuclear weapons museum, which I forget the name of. This is why the day before U2's opening of Sphere in Las Vegas, they released a new song and video inspired by Las Vegas named Atomic City. Amazing. The Sphere cost $2.3 billion. It contains 23 executive suites. This is because U2 opened the Sphere 2 months and 3 days before it is predicted that an atomic weapon will be detonated in New York City on December 2nd, 2023. This video was originally produced prior to December 2nd, 2023. God pointed ahead of time to December 2nd as being a very important date for prophetic signs and a step in the trail of signs that is leading to the predicted dirty bomb or suitcase nuke explosions in New York City on February 3rd, 2024. If we want to understand God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections, which is only being explained on this channel, then it is imperative that we learn about the profound and important signs that occurred on December 2nd, 2023. These signs are explained in the absolute must-watch video titled Okinawa Obama Prophecy Video. Make sure you watch this video. The prophetic signs on December 2nd are exactly 9 weeks before the predicted date of the dirty bomb or suitcase nuke in Manhattan on February 3rd, the date 2-3, which hints at the number 23, and as explained in other videos, God pairs 9 and 23 together in order to confirm his signs and connections. Actually, I'm going to play a few-minute clip that I've played in other videos. I'm going to play it in this video explaining why God pairs 9 and 23 together to confirm his signs and connections. And the reason for doing this in this video again is because of how important it is. As you can see, from the opening of the $2.3 billion Sphere that has 23 executive suites, it is 2 months and 3 days, which hints at 23, to the prophetic related signs that occurred on December 2nd. As I explained, it was a very important step in the trail of signs leading to the predicted date that the dirty bomb or suitcase nuke will explode in Manhattan. And then following December 2nd is exactly 9 weeks to the date 2-3, which hints at 23. And so this is stunning. This connection and this connection, 2 months and 3 days and 9 weeks, is a stunning pairing of 9 and 23 that confirms the signs and connections. Also, what we can clearly see here is that this opening of the theater by U2 and their song Atomic City, the theater that cost, and that was the big part of the news story, the biggest part was how it was way over its budget at $2.3 billion, which had 23 executive suites. This $2.3 billion, followed by the 2 months and 3 days, was all along a hint at the day of the predicted bomb in Manhattan with nuclear material on the date 2-3. It was hidden all along in the 2.3 billion sign that it would ultimately be on the date 2-3. And as we can see here, this is confirmed with this pairing of 9 and 23, which is how God's signs works. This is absolutely stunning. The missing piece for you, if you haven't watched the video already, is what happened on December 2nd. But I guarantee you that it is relevant, so make sure you watch that other video. But I just want to emphasize one more time here, the date of the predicted atomic dirty bomb in Manhattan was hidden all along with the 2.3 billion because it hints at the date 2-3. One other thing too, before I play that clip, is that, as I think I mentioned already, Bono's name is 276 in Gematria, which comes from the Bible involving a shipwreck. And 276 is the 23rd triangular number. The band U2 is named after a plane crash. And it is now believed, and has been for a while, that Kamala Harris's predicted plane crash will in fact occur on the same day as the predicted bomb in Manhattan on February 3rd. And so that is why God has combined the two here with this atomic city and sphere, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada symbolism, hinting at the coming nuclear bomb, or rather dirty bomb or suitcase nuke, which is made of nuclear material, on the same day as the plane crash, the predicted plane crash. And this is overlapping in the U2 signs, as we can see. So it's amazing. God uses the number 23 to reveal the identity of the Antichrist, the basketball president who wore jersey number 23 when he played basketball in high school. In the Old Testament in the Bible, it is described how 2 goats were used on the Day of Atonement in the ritual on the Temple Mount. In Bible prophecy, there are 2 antichrists, and in Bible prophecy, it is said that the Antichrist will rule the Temple Mount during the end times period. And the Antichrist will be vanquished from the Temple Mount at the return of Lord Jesus Christ on the Day of Atonement in 2024. Goat is Antichrist symbolism. Goat stands for greatest of all time. And this is why the 2 goats of basketball wore jersey number 23, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. The GOAT of basketball, Michael Jordan, played for Chicago, and the GOAT Antichrist, the basketball president, is from Chicago. LeBron James is famous for being from Cleveland and having played for Cleveland and having won the NBA Finals championship for Cleveland, breaking the supposed Cleveland sports curse, which is Antichrist King symbolism, which is why LeBron James goes by the nickname King James. And this was used to point to the president Grover Cleveland, who was the only president to serve non-consecutive terms, skipping the 23rd presidency, just like the Antichrist will serve non-consecutive terms, having skipped the 45th presidency. In God's true big picture of end times signs, patterns, and connections, the number 9 is the most important number, as from the Bible it symbolizes God's judgment, and the number 23 is the 9th prime number, and the number 45 is the 9th triangular number, which in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 9th row is 45. This is why Michael Jordan, in the exact middle of his career, after having won 3 NBA titles and before winning his other 3 NBA titles, retired briefly, and when he returned, wore jersey number 45 for coincidentally 23 games. And it is why Michael Jordan, in his last game as a Chicago Bull, another city God uses to point to the Antichrist, who is also from Chicago, scored 45 points against the team from the 45th state. Like Michael Jordan, LeBron James also played in Cleveland, then famously left Cleveland in much controversy, and then returned again to play a second time in Cleveland in order to win the championship for Cleveland and break the Cleveland sports curse, which symbolizes the Antichrist curse of Barack Obama when he will return to the White House for his second presidency. In other words, the hiatus in the middle of Michael Jordan's career in Chicago and the hiatus in the middle of LeBron James's career in Cleveland hint at the hiatus of Barack Obama skipping the 45th presidency and returning to the White House for a second presidency. It will be his 3rd term, which is why Michael Jordan won 3 championships and then briefly retired before returning a second time to win 3 more championships. God pairs the numbers 9 and 23 together in order to confirm the signs and connections and to reveal the identity of the Antichrist, the basketball president that wore jersey number 23 when he played basketball in high school and became president in 2009, and will become the president again in 2023. From the Bible, the numbers 9 and 23 both symbolize judgment, and the number 23 is the 9th prime number. The only grandfather-grandson presidents were the 9th and 23rd presidents, William and Benjamin Harrison. The 9th president, William Harrison, died on the calendar date April 4th, 44, which hints at the 44th president. Harrison died exactly 1 month after his inauguration. The name Harrison hints at Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash due to a bird strike and lightning and turbulence in St. Louis. And the Antichrist Barack Obama will rise to power and become president again through her replacement, which is what is hinted at with the only president to serve non-consecutive terms, President Grover Cleveland, who skipped the presidency of Benjamin Harrison. The 23rd president, which is why LeBron James, who played for Cleveland, wore jersey number 23. Michelle Obama will first replace Kamala Harris, and then Barack will replace Michelle. Michelle is the feminine version of Michael, which is the reason for the name Michael in the name Michael Jordan. In the Bible, the Hebrews crossed the Jordan River into the Promised Land. Barack Obama's famous autobiography is named A Promised Land. Obama the Antichrist will promise the world a new world order utopia. A goat is Antichrist symbolism. The greatest of all time, the GOAT of basketball, Michael Jordan, wore jersey number 23 and jersey number 9 when he played for the U.S. Olympic Dream Team, a team that beat their opponents by an average of 44 points per game, which hints at the 44th president, GOAT Antichrist, that wore jersey number 23 and became president in 2009. If you have not already watched the Michael Jordan prophecy video on this channel, the Michael Jordan prophecy video is an essential video for foundational understanding of how God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections works. Besides revealing the identity of the Antichrist, God pairs the numbers 9 and 23 to reveal what the mark of the Antichrist is. Bible prophecy describes a mark of the Antichrist, which if one takes, they will go to hell, and if one doesn't take it, they won't be able to buy or sell, which means they won't be allowed to buy the rationed food that will be rationed due to the coming food shortages. Ezekiel chapter 9 is the chapter that describes the inverse of the mark of the Antichrist. In other words, the 9th chapter of the book of Ezekiel in the Bible is about the mark of the Antichrist, and the mark of the Antichrist involves changing one's chromosomes. And we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. God pairs 9 and 23 to identify what the mark of the Antichrist is. And speaking of the GOAT of basketball, LeBron James, who wears jersey number 23, he gave his name, LeBron James, to a Nike shoe that is named 23 chromosomes. The pattern on the shoe is unmistakably a pattern that resembles snakeskin, and that is because the mark of the Antichrist is a snake bite. The mark of the Antichrist changes chromosomes through inserting a protruding-shaped amino acid chain, and this protruding-shaped amino acid chain is synthesized snake poison. In the Bible, the biggest symbol of evil, of Satan, is the serpent. The reason why the shoe is made by Nike and why Michael Jordan is known for his Air Jordan shoe made by Nike is that Nike hints at the Nicolaitan doctrine that the vast majority of Christians have, especially evangelical Christians. This Nicolaitan doctrine of our day that Jesus said he hates in Revelation chapter 2, and that he is coming to make war with the sword of his mouth on those that teach and have the works that are a product of this doctrine. This explains why many quote-unquote Christians have already taken the mark of the Antichrist. It is judgment for their doctrine. That said, nowhere in the Bible does it say that one cannot repent after taking the mark of the Antichrist. To learn more about what the Nicolaitan doctrine of our day is, watch the most important video titled 23 Church Signs video. New York City will become an atomic city 2 months and 3 days after the 2.3 billion sphere opened and U2's new song, Atomic City. The sphere opened by Bono's band, and the name Bono in English gematria, which if you don't know what gematria is, Roman, Greek, and Hebrew letters are also numbers, and as such, words and names can be converted into numeric value. In English gematria, Bono is 276, the equivalent of 276, which is a symbolic number from the Bible involving a shipwreck, and is the 23rd triangular number. The band U2 took the name from the U2 spy plane that was shot down over Russia in 1960. The shot down U2 spy plane is a type of shipwreck, and Bono equals 276, which hints at shipwreck. The U2 spy plane shoot-down incident was an important event in the Cold War. At the time, the US did not believe that the Soviets had the capability of shooting down a high-altitude plane with surface-to-air missiles. The plane was launched from Pakistan, and afterward, Russia threatened to drop a nuclear bomb on Pakistan. This historic event involving missiles is why U2 opened the $2.3 billion sphere that has 23 executive suites, 3,600 hours before it is predicted that Israel will bomb Iran's nuclear, energy, and weapons facilities on February 26, 2024. 3,600 hours hints at 360 degrees in a circle, which hints at this sphere. Also, 36 hints at 3 sixes, the number of the Antichrist, and 36 is 6 times 6, and also 2 times 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And also the 36th triangular number is 666, which in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 36th row is 666. and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, all the way up to 36 equals 666. 3,600 hours is the equivalent of 216,000 minutes, and 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. 3,600 hours is the equivalent of 150 days, and in the account of the flood in the book of Genesis, the flood, judgment, destruction on the world, hence the sphere, lasted for 150 days. The date February 26th is 226, which hints at 226, and the 226th word in Strong's Hebrew Old Testament Concordance, which is the word that means prophetic sign. The Sphere Theater is located at 255 Sands Avenue in the Nevada desert. It opened 25 days, and this 25 days is hinted at with 255 Sands Avenue, after the sand to mud Burning Man Exodus prophetic sign that is explained in the must-watch Burning Man Exodus prophecy video on this channel, which occurred in the Nevada desert. The $2.3 billion theater with 23 suites opened with a U2 concert. The U2 spy plane incident shoot-down occurred on May 1st, 1960, exactly 23,225 days before the predicted dirty bomb or suitcase nuke in Manhattan. And again, Las Vegas and the name of the new song of U2 is symbolic. Atomic City is symbolic of nuclear weapons. 2.3 billion and 255 Sands Avenue rhymes with 23,225 days. But why isn't it more precise? And why not 23,255 days? It must be, therefore, the case that the date of the U2 plane incident connects to something else which requires it be 23,225 days and not 23,255 days. Okay, so if I wasn't clear there, again, the sphere is symbolized now in this prophetic sign with the number 23, as it cost $2.3 billion, and there are 23 executive suites, and it opened officially with the U2 concert 2 months and 3 days before the predicted date of the nuclear bomb, suitcase nuke or dirty bomb in Manhattan. Okay, and the location of the sphere is 255 Sands Avenue. But this seems to be too close of a number to be not a coincidence, or rather to not be designed by God. Furthermore, the opening of the sphere was 25 days, as in this number right here, 225, after the other prophetic sign in the Nevada desert that involved sand. And not only that, but the Burning Man sign was about an exodus, an evacuation from the Nevada desert, and when Israel is predicted to bomb Iran, there will be an evacuation near the Bashur nuclear power plant into the Iranian desert. All right, so why isn't it more precise? Well, as I'm saying here, this is the case that God needed to have it this number instead of this number for the purpose of being able to connect it to another prophetic sign, and that purpose is to identify the Antichrist. Because in Bible prophecy, the number 1260 is associated with the Antichrist. It is mentioned 7 times as being the period of time of the Antichrist in the end times. 1260 days. So it's also a period of time, which, as we'll see, is relevant. The name U2 is, in Gematria, in English Gematria, 126, which hints at 1260. And again, it was U2 that opened the Sphere Theater. The date of the incident, and of course we are talking about the U2 spy plane. That's the relevant thing here. And its connection with 23,225 days. Okay, so the name U2, whether it be the spy plane or the band, is 126 in English gematria. The date of the U2 plane incident was 126.0% of a year, a period of time that hints at 1,260 days of time before the birth of the Antichrist on August 4th, 1961, Barack Obama's birth. Okay, that's amazing. Because again, U2 hints at 126. Furthermore, this is the Antichrist, and this is the Antichrist number. In the Bible, dry places and deserts are symbolic of evil spirits. In Bible prophecy, the number 666 is associated with the Antichrist. God uses the number 36 as symbolism for 666 because 36 hints at 3 sixes, but also it is 6 times 6, and also 2 times 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6, and the 36th triangular number, which in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 36th row is 666, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 36 equals 666. Nevada is the 36th state to join the Union. The acreage of the Sphere Theater in Nevada is 18 acres, and 18 hints at 6 plus 6 plus 6. The capacity of the Sphere Theater is 18,000, or over 18,000, which again hints at 666. The sun's energy is the result of atomic reactions. The sun is a giant sphere. In simple English gematria, Bono, the nickname of the lead singer, is 21. All right, simple English gematria, A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. Bono equals 21. 21 is 3 sets of 7. And this is symbolic of God's judgment and destruction of a nation or people in the Bible. God frequently uses 3 sets of 7 symbolism in his true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections. Because the Israelites marched around the walls of security of Jericho before they collapsed in God's judgment, and before they collapsed the walls, the Israelites enacted a symbolic 3 sets of 7. Bono's band's new song, Atomic City, and their opening concert at the Sphere Theater, that is known for its light show, is exactly 3 sets of 7 weeks, which is 21 weeks, before the predicted catastrophic explosion on the surface of the giant sphere that is the light-generating sun that will knock out the nation's power grid on February 22nd, 2024. So this is amazing. This Sphere Theater is known for its light show, and the sun, of course, is known for generating light. And we're talking about the catastrophic event when the nation's walls of security will collapse in God's judgment. Therefore, we might very well expect a prophetic 3 sets of 7 connection, 3 sets of 7 weeks, in other words, prior to the predicted date of the solar storm coronal mass ejection from the sun, to be a prophetic sign that hints at this event. And this is exactly the case with this Sphere Theater sign, because the sun is a giant sphere. And it is a light show, or the theater. But not only that, the sun's light is generated through atomic reactions, and the opening of the sphere involves the band that released a song named Atomic City, in the city that is symbolism for atomic reactions because of the nuclear bomb testing. So this is an amazing confirmation. A record 8 inches of rain fell on New York City on September 29th, 2023, the day that U2 opened the Sphere Theater, exactly 8 times 8 days before it is predicted There will be a dirty bomb or suitcase nuke explosion and evacuation in Manhattan. The governor issued a state of emergency, and severe flooding was seen. Flash flood warnings were issued, which pointed back to the first ever flash flood warning for New York City due to prophetic Hurricane Ida. 8 inches of rain confirm 8 times 8 days, and the number 88 is 9/11 symbolism. For example, there were the heroes of the 88th floor, the Tribute in Light art installation that commemorated the Twin Towers was made up of 88 searchlights, and according to Wikipedia, there are 88 places in America named Washington, and it was through the 9/11 events that God pointed to George Washington and his first inauguration in Lower Manhattan in Federal Hall, after which he walked down or marched down Wall Street into Trinity Chapel, where he consecrated the nation to God, saying that if the nation were to ever turn away from God, it would lose its divine protection and blessings. This is why Trinity Chapel was the only building at Ground Zero to have survived the falling debris and is known today as the Miracle Chapel. It is because God was pointing through the 9/11 events, Washington's consecration of the nation to God at Trinity Chapel. This record-setting flooding sign in New York City on the same day as the opening of the Sphere sign, which is an atomic sign, is more stunning confirmation of the prediction that 2 months and 3 days after the $2.3 billion theater was opened that has 23 executive suites will be the date of the atomic event, the dirty bomb or suitcase nuke explosion in Manhattan on December 2nd, 2023. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. Please leave a like and upvote the video. And once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more. Don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the BitChute.com or the Odyssey.com channel. And do it now in case you aren't able to later.